BC's Rocky Mountains. Some of the most dangerous rail territory in the world. Train 301 was a 2-kilometer CP freight train headed to Vancouver. But when a string of failures caused 301 to run away downhill, killing the crew, the only police to look into what went wrong and who's responsible was the railway's own police force. Now there are mounting calls for the federal government to step in. It was February 2019. Wind chills of -30.
I got a call from dispatch to go to field to pick up a crew.
Before midnight, driver Rob Marshall dropped a relief crew up the mountain to take over Train 301. They'd been having problems, forced to make an emergency stop, and was sitting at the top without handbrakes.
All of a sudden you hear on the radio saying like the train's out of control.
Marshall was still parked next to the track as 301 started to roll.
As the train is flying by, I'm thinking like, good God almighty, like this train could derail and kill these people that I just drove up here.
The train picked up speed, racing downhill.
Then they went through the tunnel. It was complete radio silence. And the RTC saying, "Engineer Andy, do you copy?" That was very eerie because you knew that something was wrong.
301 slammed into the side of the mountain, killing conductor Dylan Parody, engineer Andy Dockrell, and trainee Daniel Waldenberger-Bulmer. Safety officials have concluded the crew wasn't to blame.
I know Dylan and his crew didn't do anything wrong. Well, I hold CPR responsible. Their bottom line to keep the trains rolling, no matter what, killed my son and his crewmates. I want to hold them responsible.
In those freezing mountains, CBC found a string of failures in the crash. Brakes, safety inspections, policies, on a line that's seen 26 derailments and runaways in the last 26 years. This fall, Transport Canada concluded CP failed to identify and assess the hazards on the mountain. CP is appealing. Safety officials are also looking into the cause but can't lay charges. Criminal negligence investigations are left to police, which in this case was CP Rail's own police force.
So I was the primary investigator of the file.
This former CP police officer was assigned to look at the actions of the crew. He even began looking into possible negligence by his own company.
I was ordered to stop investigating.
He says he was shut down just 1 month after the derailment.
In my opinion, I would say it was some type of cover-up or an attempt to not provide information that might be damning.
CP Police disputes all this and says its investigation was thorough and resulted in no charges.
We cannot have CP Rail investigating themselves when there is something so devastating and important as a worker's death.
So at a memorial this October for the 3 crew, Pam Fraser confronted CP CEO Keith Creel.
Family, these are for you.
Okay.
Yeah. We all wrote letters to you.
Okay.
She asked him to call in outside police, but when he wouldn't, she did it herself.
Is Sergeant Betty Watson in, please?
Just last month, she called the RCMP. They've been watching this case. She asked them to formally investigate the crash and whether there's been a cover-up.
And the other report I'd like to file is regarding allegations of investigation interference and obstruction.
She's got the RCMP to open a file, and so now she waits. Lawyer Tavengwa Ranyoa represents a number of families of rail workers killed on the job.
You need to change the system immediately.
He says railway police shouldn't investigate their own companies and is calling on the government to change the law.
How can you go and ask the person who writes your paycheck whether they are responsible for something criminal? right? These officers are 100% employees of CP Rail.
Deregulation
And
has
pressure
proven
is building.
deadly. So what is this government doing to ensure justice for the 3 men killed?
NDP transport critic Nikki Ashton is launching a petition calling on the Prime Minister to intervene.
The ask of the Prime Minister is very clear. We have to put an end to this archaic notion that rail companies, some of the biggest corporations in our country, can police themselves.
For the past year, Canada's Transport Minister has declined repeated requests for an interview. So too is Keith Creel, CP Rail's CEO, though he's not shy about talking to the business press.
We started to turn this company around back in 2012, and rest assured, we didn't get it all right. It's been a matter of public record. You know, we broke a lot of eggs, I guess, for the lack of a better term.
Comments that have enraged families of the crew of Train 301.
We broke a lot of eggs, for lack of a better term, is what he said. I really want to know, what eggs is he referring to? Was it my son's broken, crushed egg in the engine? Was it Daniel Waldenberger-Bulmer's drowned egg in the river? Or was it the engineer, Andrew Dockrell's broken eggs?